What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome back to the brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And in this video we will talk about Philippe Coutinho, and he is desperate to come back to the Premier League and he really wants to come back to Liverpool specifically. His agent has spoken out and he confirmed that Coutinho wants to return to the Premier League, and Liverpool have the option to take Coutinho on a one-year loan deal for just £9 million. So what do you think? Do you think Liverpool should take that option? I think for £9 million it's a no-brainer to just bring back Coutinho for 1 year and to hopefully fulfill his dream of winning the Premier League title with Liverpool. And also just to add a little bit more creativity and a little bit more goals and flair into Liverpool's midfield, which sometimes lacking because Naby Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain are both injury-prone players. And Coutinho actually is having an okay season, much better season than last season at Barcelona. He scored 8 goals in 22 games for Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. And also he scored in other competitions as well, and he is actually having a much better season, as I said, than last season. And also he's out injured right now, so he's weighing up his options on what to do. It's almost certain that Bayern Munich will not buy him at the end of his loan deal, so he's available for either a transfer or a loan. So let me know in the comments below, do you want Coutinho coming back to Liverpool? And if you enjoy these videos, leave a like and subscribe, turn on bell notification so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news. And Kia Robchan, the agent of Philippe Coutinho, who is also the agent of David Luiz and Willian, the Chelsea winger, this is what he told Sky Sports. Coutinho has a desire to come back to the Premier League at some point. It may not happen this year, it may happen this year, but we don't know. We really have not discussed anything certain for now. And also the agent of Coutinho insisted that Barcelona putting a €7 million price tag on Coutinho or asking for a €10 million loan fee are wide of the mark. He said, I've never heard those figures, we have never discussed numbers, none of those figures have ever been discussed. So at the moment I think that Liverpool needs to negotiate a price, but I think that around £5 to £10 million could do it. We could convince Barcelona for that amount of money to let Coutinho go on a one-year loan to Liverpool. And apparently Arsenal, Manchester United and Chelsea are interested in Coutinho alongside Liverpool, but all of these clubs are hesitant to pay the 70 million asking price. It's pretty clear that Coutinho is not worth 70 million right now, especially because he's 27 years old, so he doesn't have the age on his side, because a 28-year-old player, if you pay 70 million for him, that's money that you will never get back. You can't sell Coutinho in 2 years for like even half of that amount. And Coutinho's agent said this also: the fact I'm an Arsenal supporter is not a secret. I don't have any preference where the players that I represent go. I don't try to push someone to one club or another. Everything is a possibility. After the Champions League game he played in England, we had a long chat about Coutinho's future. The Premier League is something that he has always enjoyed playing in and loved playing in and would probably love to come back and play in again. The question is, what are going to be the financial conditions of all the clubs, including Barcelona and all the Premier League clubs, at the end of this financial crisis? And all his players that the agent is representing, saying everyone wants to stay safe, stay healthy and get back to training. Everyone is trying to stay positive. At the moment Coutinho is not training because he's out injured right now, but he will be back probably by the time the transfer window opens. And I want to take a look at how Liverpool could fit Coutinho into their starting lineup right now, because it does cause a pretty significant problem in terms of fitting Coutinho in right now into Liverpool's style of play. Coutinho would do things on the ball that from an entertainment perspective, it just makes you fall in love with the game. It makes you really drool over the skills of Coutinho, his long shots, his free kicks, his dribbling ability, his ball control, everything. It just plays like a flair player, and we love players like that. But you know, Mo Salah, for example, he has a lot of touches, a lot of shots, but only 26 passes per game in the Premier League, compared to, for example, Van Dijk, who has 80 passes in the Premier League. And Coutinho is even more ball dominant than Salah. And Ernesto Valverde, the previous Barcelona manager who signed Coutinho to Barcelona, he had a very functional system, and maybe you can allow one player to have a free role like Coutinho, but if you let another player do that, things get a little like confusing and complicated tactically. Coutinho fulfilled a Dirk Kuyt type of role at Barcelona. He was just a cog in the machine and not a star man, because they had Messi, they had players like Suarez. Those were the flair players at Barcelona, the big players, and Coutinho was just another superstar, but not as big as the other superstars. I'm not even sure why Barcelona bought him in the first place. Probably they wanted to replace Iniesta, because the reasons that Coutinho shined as a top player, he was not allowed to do that same role in the Barcelona team. And unless you put Coutinho in a very similar role to what he did at Liverpool, you are not going to get the benefits that Liverpool enjoyed by like deploying Coutinho in that specific role. He had a free role at Liverpool where he could do whatever on the ball, and also he wasn't required to come back and defend and track back. And the fact that Barcelona paid 142 million pounds for Coutinho, it was a major transfer that I think Barcelona massively overpaid. Don't get me wrong, Coutinho is a very good world-class player, but he's not worth 140 million. He's worth about half of that. If you pay that amount of money, he has to be perfect for your squad, for Barcelona's squad, and he wasn't perfect for that Barcelona team. You are expecting a player who transforms your whole team for 140 million pounds, and to use him as just another player in your system is pretty baffling to me, that Barcelona paid 140 million and then they just used him as just another midfielder, just another white player. And the main reason why Barcelona are competing at the top of La Liga and in the Champions League is of Messi, and it's not because of their transfer decisions, because they are making almost as big mistakes in the transfer market as Manchester United. But Man United don't have a Messi. If Man United had Messi, they would probably be up there in the Premier League title race, or at least like usually in the Premier League top 2 or top 3. But once Messi retires, Barcelona have a huge problem on their hands, because their transfer business and their transfer decisions more often than not haven't worked out really. And Coutinho's agent said that what is going to be the situation in terms of which team who can afford to take new transfers in and how those transfers occur, every club will have a different position, and we have to see once the transfer market opens what kind of financial situation Liverpool and Barcelona and all the other Premier League clubs will find themselves in, and that's when you can find out who will actually really want Coutinho and who will want to afford him, either as a permanent transfer or as a loan deal. And Barcelona, I think, are open to all possibilities. What they don't want is to end up with Coutinho staying with them for another year. I think they want to move him on either as a loan deal or as a permanent transfer. And the agent also said, I also think we as a society and the football world, we have to be very conscious about the numbers that just became crazy recently. They need to come down going forward. Ultimately, it will go down to what Jurgen Klopp wants. If Jurgen Klopp thinks that for 10 million plus Coutinho's wages, he's a player worth having at Liverpool for just one season, I think we should contact Barcelona just to ask whether they would let Coutinho go on a one-year loan to Liverpool. But if he goes to another Premier League club, it will be super interesting how he does. Because at Arsenal, at Chelsea, at Manchester United, he will have to drag his team upwards in the table, because those teams are miles away from Liverpool. While at Liverpool, he would have no pressure really, because he would just come in to an already winning superstar world-class team, the best in the Premier League. So I think that Coutinho would probably choose Liverpool. It's just a question of whether Liverpool really would want him when the transfer window opens. That's still a few months away, so we shall wait and see how the season ends for Liverpool. And current Red Bull Salzburg manager Marsh, who already traded Takumi Minamino to Liverpool, he already sold Minamino to Liverpool, so we already have a relationship with him, has actually said that Haaland, the current Borussia Dortmund striker, his former striker, would actually be perfect for Liverpool. And this is what he said: Haaland is a very, very special talent, and when you take his speed, his explosiveness, his size, his power, his technical ability, finishing, he would immediately be in the upper echelon of players in the world. But then when you can also consider his tactical intelligence, his motivation, his discipline, his desire to improve and grow, and then the combination means you have something very, very unique. He will continue to do well at Dortmund, but we are only scratching the surface of the potential for Erling Haaland. I'm not sure how long he will be there before it's time for him to take the next step, but he has the potential to be one of the best players of the world, no doubt. It's another player that Liverpool would be very lucky to have. No, I think it would be Haaland who would be very lucky to play for Liverpool, not the other way around. Liverpool are a huge club, and Haaland is just a 19-year-old, yes, very, very talented youngster. I think that's a ridiculous comment to have, that Liverpool would be lucky to have Haaland. If it was said about like Mbappe, I could make an argument for that, but Haaland is not yet on that level. And March also said this: it won't be cheap, but Haaland loves the explosive style of play, and being in open spaces, running in behind defenses, being aggressive. Just by theory, it fits the way Liverpool plays. So he would be an incredible fit, according to the Salzburg manager. What do you think? I don't think Liverpool are interested in Haaland. We were interested in Haaland when he was still playing at Salzburg, but Haaland wanted to go to a big club who have an open spot at the striking department, and Liverpool didn't have an open spot. They had Firmino, and all the other top clubs didn't have an open spot at the strikers department, but Borussia Dortmund did, and that's why he went there, because he can play every week. And Andrew Robertson said this about Virgil van Dijk: he is the best defender in the world, and I love him being on the left-hand side with me. We have a good partnership on and off the pitch. We help each other out on the pitch especially. The big guy is absolutely class in everything he does. He just carries himself so well on and off the pitch, and is somebody who a lot of people look up to, and I'm one of them. He's a fantastic leader, fantastic guy. I love playing with him, having him in the back line since he signed. He's brought us forward. I loved him at Celtic as well, and I was delighted when we signed him. It showed that the money spent was worth it, and it is well documented that Virgil van Dijk absolutely transformed this Liverpool side into a winning machine. Since he came into the club, our winning percentage just went up by another like 15-20% or something like that, which is absolutely crazy if you think about it, that just one player would improve Liverpool so much. But that's what Liverpool have been lacking: a true leader at the back who will command the defense, who will organize everybody, shout at people, and also who is a world-class centre-back. That's the most important thing, obviously. And John Barnes made a very bold prediction, saying that he doesn't think any young players at Liverpool are ready to play in the first team. He thinks Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Neco Williams, and the other young players, Ryan Brewster, are not ready to play in Liverpool's first team. And yes, if you think about it, like obviously they are young players, they're not as good as Liverpool's first team players, who usually have like 10 years of experience behind them. But it doesn't say that they won't be ready in the future. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold, when he first played for Liverpool, was he ready to play in the first team? He probably wasn't, but as he gained experience and as he got more playing time, more chances from Jurgen Klopp, he got better, he got more experienced, and now he's obviously one of the best right backs in the world. And John Barnes also predicted that Liverpool will be quiet in the transfer market. They will rely on the senior players that they have. There are a few young players who John Barnes sees as playing in the cup matches in the squad, but there aren't necessarily any Raheem Sterlings or young Robbie Fowlers or Steven Gerrards in the Liverpool squad. I mean, how can you make that prediction when Harvey Elliott is just 17, Curtis Jones is what, like 19 years old? And I don't think that you can make that prediction. just yet about them. And Joe Gomez said that he plans to stay at Liverpool for a long time, and this is just the beginning, the opening chapters of his Liverpool career, which I absolutely love. He said, I've had its ups and downs in my career so far. Some periods have gone quicker than others, but I am so grateful to be at this Liverpool Football Club, and to be coming up to my 5th year is something I definitely appreciate. Hopefully it is just the start of the journey. 5 years is a pretty decent length of time, and I hope it is just sort of the opening chapters of what can be many more years here. It has definitely been special times, and I've definitely grown a lot here. I've done most of my growing up as an adult. Coming here at 18, I've learned so much about the club, about the city. It's been a pleasure. Everything and more has lived up to my expectations so far. I've said it a few times, but I don't think I realized the stature of the club when I was signing. To be a part of some of the memories that have been created here already over the past 5 years, and just being a part of the city and the club is special. It's become home. My son was born here, and I'm getting to raise a family. To be a part of such a special club, for me the best in the world in the sense of community, the fan base. For that I've got to give thanks to everybody. Coming back in to Melwood really gave perspective of how much of a blessing it is to be part of this club and to be involved in the setup. There is something to be absolutely thankful for. And what is absolutely crazy to me, even though Joe Gomez is a pretty young player, only Jordan Henderson, Lallana and Dejan Lovren have been longer at Liverpool than Joe Gomez. He said, I didn't realize that, but I've definitely grown up here. I've definitely learned massive amounts from being at the club for that period of time. I definitely do feel like I've got a lot of learning to do, and I still see myself as a young player within the team, but I suppose in that sense it does mean I've got a good gauge of what it means to play for the club and how much responsibility it is. As a collective, we've got so many experienced players here and guys who have played for massive clubs and won things at different places. I think it is that mix of youth and experience that we have got in the team that probably makes such a good blend at the minute. People like Trent that really embody the city and what it means to be a Liverpool player. Then the likes of Henderson that is a leader who has been here for so many years. Having so many individuals within the team that embrace playing for the club and really enjoy what it means to be a Liverpool player. It's hopefully what is going to create the formula for winning many trophies and having more success. Oh, that is just an absolutely brilliant interview by Joe Gomez. I wanted to share that with you guys, and I really hope that he stays at Liverpool until he retires, because he is in the process of becoming a legend at Liverpool FC, and he is one of the future England's best centre-backs in my opinion, and also Liverpool's #1 best centre-back in the future, hopefully. Thanks for watching guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day, see you later, goodbye.